Hey guys, this is Ryan with Speedy HQ1. What we got here is the 2010 Chevy 1500 4x4. We're going to do a disc brake conversion on it. Please subscribe and watch it. Hope you enjoy. Here we are. We're going to take these plastic caps off. There's two little bolts you have to take off to get the little cap covering the lug nuts. Voila. Alright guys, now we're going to take the lug nuts off the wheel. Guys, we're going to pull this drum off and see how bad the brakes are. Stay with us. It's going to be fun. Let's get all that. Dude. Not down to the metal, but this side is closer to the metal than that side is. Ew. Oh my gosh, that spring is really stiff. Stiffy. The spring is stiffy. I have a spring tool for this crap. Alright, once you get the brakes off, you gotta take this back plate off, so you gotta take all these bolts off. They're really hard in there, so you got some, like I got a dead blow, and right until this guy hit it. I had the wrench fall off. Why is this one falling off? Try to hold it on and it's popping off.
All right, well now we're taking the brake line loose. We got the emergency brake cable out, as you can see down there.
All right guys, get the backing plate off of this thing and then we can start putting on the parts. Now there's different ways. We had some trouble getting the backing plate off, so you got a plasma cutter to try to get it off, or you can pull the axles and take off the backing plate. It's up to you guys.
Okay guys, got some of the bracketing on. Take you in here for a closer shot. You've got your adapter plate here, spacer plate that bolts onto the caliper bracket, and you got your hose bracket on the back side of that, and you got another adapter plate down there with a spacer adapter that bolts up to this. The caliper and the disc will go on next, and then we'll start working on the caliper. Leaving this all loose right now just to mock it up. We'll tighten it all up, some Loctite later.
Hey guys, this is the finished product. Yeah, you hook your brake lines up to here. It's got a braided line that goes out to the caliper. This is the caliper bolted onto those brackets we were showing you before, where the bolts go through. Look how nice it looks. Slotted, drilled disc brakes. Nice. Get you a look. All the brackets. Braided line goes down. Comes down and comes over and attaches the bottom of the caliper. Nice, isn't it?
Okay guys, we got her all off on this side, just like this side. I got a broken stud. We'll be replacing when I change out the gears, and we'll start putting it all assembling back together for the disc brakes. We get this bracket, the adapter bracket, we put that to hold the brake line adapter, and we take their supplied bolts and we stick them in. It's all going to be just loosely fitted right now. I'll come back and put Loctite, tighten them all up to the specific torque specs that they're wanting. Okay, and then we have our plate. This little notch comes up on top, that comes in here, but we need this. That goes in there and
Spacer.
there. And we get their supplied bolts, a washer on each side. These are all going to be torqued to spec also. Oops, drop the washer. Okay. Come on, you can do it. It's a tight little hole there. Some of these they painted are tight. Oh. Washer goes on, the nut goes on. Again, we will lock tight and torque these to the specs.
Show them the little dent inside the bolt.
They got a little dent there, makes it really hard to turn, but they did that to
So
make sure it won't back off.
So you can only get it tight to where that dent is. The rest of it you have to really take 2 wrenches, and
it is a bear.
it is a pain.
But it's there for safety so that it doesn't back off. Okay, now the bottom, we have the adapter plate. Doesn't have the other plate that gets, of course, these bolts. They come in. We gotta make sure this is in front towards the diff. Take our smaller bolts, separate. We take the spacer and we stick it between the adapter plate and the plate for the caliper.
Spacer.
Come on. These things are really rather freaking stiff. Pulls. Goes the washer and then the nut again. And the other side with the washer and the nut. Now that we got all of them all assembled, I will get it apart and Loctite that and tighten them all to spec, and we'll be back. Pin down the bolts after I Loctite them as we put them all back in.
The big bolts are 65 foot-pounds. The smaller ones are 20.
So I'm gonna have to readjust this because we had this at 20 last.
Okay. 65 foot-pounds is a lot.
There we go.
Pop. Snap, crackle, pop.
Doesn't take much Loctite, guys.
See how much is on there? That's about all you need to put on. What we're doing.
We'll drop this back down to 20 pounds for the little bolts and start on them, which I'm not gonna be able to show too much of that because I need
Two people.
because it's a pair.
One person has to hold the bolt and one person has to do the other.
So we'll get back to you after we do those. Banjo fitting. We got our banjo fitting that bolts onto the bottom there where this bolt came out of. You got to have a washer on each side of it. It runs over and comes up, and there's a clip that goes in that, and we got to bend this to go in there. So we'll get the banjo fitting done in right now.
Can't see it, but it's on the bottom of the caliper.
I wouldn't use any Loctite on that if I was you. Find the right socket.
Caliper just bolts onto the bracket that's sticking out. You see how it's put on there?
One thing about me and my brother, we tend to over tighten things. We don't know our own strength.
That's definitely true.
Okay, we'll come back when we got that all bent up and in there.
Look at that. You bend the brake line over to meet the braided line hose. Right there. Well, right there.
And then we have the little retainer for the banjo fitting, which is a little bit stiff to get in, but that's what they made hammers for. Let's find my 13mm wrench. It's 10, 16, 13. Very easily, because Mr. Rusty here does not like anything to be done too nicely because he's rusted. He has fought me on almost every bolt and nut on this job. So I gotta have to remember what that was that I needed. I'm sure that I had it out at one point, and whether it got put back. That's too big. There we are. Okay, there we go. Now she's all set up, and we gotta fill her back up and bleed the brakes.
Yippee! Brake time, brake time. Oh wait, different kind of brake time.
And then we gotta brake them in to their recommended specs, which is on the freeway or on any road that you can get up to high speeds and slow down gradually.